Well, gentlemen, gather around, because what I'm about to share might just be the most important lesson you'll ever hear in the fine art of attraction. This isn't your garden variety advice on how to smile at a lady, or pick the right cologne. Oh no, this is the deep stuff, the kind that dives into the very marrow of what makes a woman wildly, hopelessly, head over heels attached to you. But there's a catch. Of course, there's a catch. Without understanding one fundamental truth, you might as well be trying to charm a mountain lion with a kazoo. Now, I hear some of you muttering already. But women are so different, each one unique, like snowflakes. And you'd be right, women are as unique as the stars in the sky. But when it comes to attraction, my friends, we're not talking about the nuanced details of personality. No, sir. We're dealing with instincts, the primal stuff that beats beneath all those layers of individuality. Let me put it this way. Suppose someone's parched, bone-dry thirsty. If I asked you what they needed, you'd say, a glass of water, wouldn't you? Would you pause to ask what they look like? Whether they're tall or short, light or dark? Of course not. Thirst doesn't care about such trivialities. It's universal. And attraction, true, visceral attraction, is no different. Now imagine this. You've got a woman with a dazzling smile, a face that could launch 1,000 ships, and a figure that would make Michelangelo weep. You put her in front of a straight man and ask, would you like to spend time with this lady? I'd wager my last cigar that his answer will be a resounding yes. Preferences? Sure, they matter in the finer details. Blonde or brunette, tall or petite, those are garnish on the plate. But the basic response? Instinctual, automatic, beyond reason. And here's the kicker. For women, it works the same way, but with a twist. Men are drawn by what they see, women by what they feel. Trigger the right emotions in her. Real, heart-thumping, butterfly-inducing emotions, and she'll be as drawn to you as a bee to honey. You could be short, tall, bald, or sporting the most unfortunate haircut known to man. None of it matters if you've mastered the art of emotional attraction. Ever wonder why a man surrounded by women seems to attract even more women? It's because, instinctually, women gravitate toward what feels secure, exciting, and desired. It's not magic, my friends. It's nature at work. So here's the plan. Today, I'm not just handing you a list of tricks to impress a woman. I'm going deeper, straight into the heart of what makes you a man worth loving. Forget what she wants for a moment. This is about becoming the kind of man who doesn't just attract women, but keeps them captivated. So buckle up, gentlemen. This isn't just another video. It's a journey into your own potential, a chance to refine the qualities that make you irresistible. And if you're willing to listen, I promise you, the results will leave you grinning like a cat in a creamery. Now, my fine fellows, before we go galloping off into the wilds of how to make a woman hopelessly attached to you, we need to pause and set our foundation. Think of it as laying the keel before building the ship. Without the right mindset, all the clever tricks in the world won't save you from capsizing. And trust me, this mindset isn't just a fancy notion. It's the cornerstone of everything we'll discuss today. Here's the golden rule. You must believe, with every fiber of your being, that anything in this world you desire is yours to have. Now, don't go clutching your pearls just yet. I'm not spinning some pie-in-the-sky philosophy. I'll break it down plain and simple. Let's say you've got your sights set on a top job at a big company. don't you dare stand there muttering, "Oh, I'm not good enough for that." Or, worse yet, "That girl over there is too beautiful. She's out of my league." Balderdash! That kind of thinking is the quickest way to shrink yourself down to a shadow of the man you're meant to be. A man who believes he deserves the best not only lives a fuller, happier life, but also becomes downright magnetic to women. Why? Because confidence is like the North Star. It draws people to you without you even trying. But belief is only half the battle. Let's talk about value. As a man, you must recognize your own worth and protect it like a bulldog guards a bone. No one, man, woman, or otherwise, should ever be allowed to drag your value through the mud. I learned this lesson the hard way, and if I can save you from my mistakes, it'll be worth the telling. You see, I grew up in a poor environment where insults and disrespect were as common as flies in summer. It didn't bother me back then because it was the air I breathed. But as I got older and started dealing with women, that mindset stuck to me like tar. I didn't flinch when someone disrespected me. I shrugged it off when my worth was undermined. And you know what it got me? A heap of trouble and a string of failures in relationships. So here's the thing. If someone disrespects you, be they friend or foe, you've got to nip it in the bud. Stand up, speak out, and let the world know that you won't be walked over. And this isn't just about people in general. It applies doubly to women. If a woman sees you standing up for yourself, her respect, and yes, her attraction, will skyrocket. And don't think for a moment that her beauty gives her a pass to cross your boundaries. A woman can look like an angel fresh off the pearly gates, but if she disrespects you, you must draw the line. A man who values himself enough to set boundaries is a man worth remembering, and more importantly, a man worth staying wildly attached to. Now, let's talk about the kind of mindset that doesn't just attract women, it downright hypnotizes them. First up, every decision you make, you must believe, without a shadow of a doubt, that it's the right one. Hesitation, my dear fellow, is like a leaky bucket. It drains away confidence faster than you can patch it up. If you're strolling with her and choose a path, declare it as though you've charted it, with a compass forged by destiny itself. If you're at a restaurant, order your meal with the assurance of a man who's tasted the menu 1,000 times over, even if you haven't a clue what half the dishes mean. And for heaven's sake, don't start asking her, "Do you think this is a good idea?" Or, "Should I go for this shirt or that one?" No, sir. A man who wavers is about as appealing as a soggy biscuit. Be bold, be certain, and never let her think you need her approval for your choices. That kind of confidence is like honey to a bee. It's irresistible. Now, for the most important piece, you must believe with every fiber of your being that any woman you find attractive feels the same way about you. This isn't arrogance, it's a quiet, unshakable conviction. Walk into every interaction, assuming her heart skips a beat at your mere presence. And I assure you, she'll start to feel exactly that way. Why? Because confidence is contagious. And when you believe you're worth her attention, she'll believe it too. So remember, fellas, decide with conviction and carry yourself with the kind of self-assured charm that leaves no room for doubt. That's the magic that turns a casual encounter into something unforgettable. Now, my friend, having conquered the realm of mindset, let us set our sights on something more tangible: behavior. How you act, how you carry yourself, and most importantly, how you live your life. All of it matters far more than you think. The first point, and perhaps the cornerstone of it all, is this. You must have a plan and a goal in life. I know. You've heard this sermon preached from every rooftop and street corner. But I reckon most preachers left out the part that really matters. How this ties to a woman's attraction. It's not just about impressing her with what you've achieved. It's about what you're striving for. Now, here's the rub. Many men think that landing a good job or padding their bank account is the ultimate prize. And yes, it may attract women. Gold diggers a-plenty, if that's your cup of tea. But if you want a woman to love you for you, to be drawn to the very essence of your soul, then having a goal, an ambition, a dream, a purpose is non-negotiable. Consider this. Picture two men. One is a practicing doctor, white coat and all, and the other is a medical student, toiling late into the night, chasing his dream with fire in his heart. Introduce them to a woman, and who do you suppose will capture her interest? The answer is the dreamer, the striver. Why? Because there's something irresistible about a man in pursuit of greatness. Even if you've already climbed one mountain, you must set your sights on the next. Maybe you're sculpting the perfect physique, building a business, or writing the next great American novel. Whatever it is, a woman needs to sense that you're going somewhere, and she's invited to join the journey. Let me be plain. If you lack a goal, if you make her the sun around which your entire world orbits, you are doomed. The very moment she feels like your sole focus, she will lose respect for you faster than a gambler losing his paycheck at the roulette wheel. Now, having a goal isn't enough. You must show her this goal is paramount. Let me paint you a picture. She says, let's meet up. You reply, can't. I'm working late tonight. Or perhaps you've only been together an hour, but the gym beckons. You tell her, I'd love to stay, but I've got to hit the weights at 7. If you're creating content for your YouTube channel and she suggests an outing, you respond, not now. I've got a video to finish. Do you see the pattern? It's not about neglecting her. It's about prioritizing your mission. A man with a purpose is a man who commands respect. And let me tell you, respect is the bedrock of attraction. Listen closely now. This isn't just about the courting stage. If you're married or settled, this applies doubly so. Far too many men fall into the quicksand of monotony, losing themselves in the daily grind. No goals, no aspirations, just the same routine, day in and day out. This, my friend, is why so many women grow discontent, why they stray, or worse, leave entirely. A man must always be hunting, striving, chasing something bigger than himself. Ah, but here's a twist in the tale. Sometimes a woman may poke fun at your goal. She might roll her eyes, cast doubt, or even try to steer you off course. Don't fret. It's a test, pure and simple. She wants to know if you're as steadfast as you claim to be. Whatever you do, don't lose your temper. A steady hand on the wheel will win her admiration far more than an angry outburst. So, my brother, stand tall. Keep your eyes on the horizon and let the world, and the women in it, see that you are a man of purpose. Because a man who knows where he's going is a man worth following. Let us now turn to a point so simple, yet so potent, it could charm a bird from a tree. The ability to ask for what you want. You might think this is common sense, but you'd be astonished at how many men stumble over this, tripping on their own hesitation as though they'd tied their shoelaces together. Picture this. You're sitting in a fine restaurant, a vision of culinary grandeur spread before you. The waiter approaches, pen poised, ready to capture your gastronomic desires. But instead of ordering what you want, you glance nervously at your companion and mutter, "What do you think I should get?" Gentlemen, let me tell you, this is a cardinal sin. When the waiter stands before you, you order with the confidence of a man who knows his steak from his soufflé. The same rule applies everywhere. Say you're in a taxi, feeling as though you're baking in a desert sun. What do? You ask the driver to crack the window, of course. Now, you might be wondering, but what if he says no? My dear fellow, that's entirely beside the point. Let me paint the scene. You're sitting beside a charming young lady in the aforementioned taxi, sweat beading on your brow. You politely ask the driver to open the window and he replies, "Sorry, I can't. The cold air will do me in." Well, he's refused your request, but does that make you any less of a man? Absolutely not. The real victory lies in the asking. Here's the thing. Most people shy away from asking because they fear rejection. What if I'm denied? They fret. Won't I look foolish? Nonsense! A refusal doesn't tarnish you. It elevates you. It shows you have the spine to voice your needs, a trait as magnetic as the North Star. Now, let's scale this up. Suppose you're working in a company, laboring tirelessly while your paycheck limps along like a three-legged dog. What do? You march into your manager's office and ask for a raise. The same principle applies in every corner of life. Whether you're asking for a favor, a promotion, or a dollop more gravy on your mashed potatoes. From this day forth, let it be your creed. If you want something, ask for it. No hesitating, no overthinking, no skulking about like a thief in the night. Whether it's a window cracked open or the moon and stars themselves, speak your desire boldly. Because, my friend, there's nothing more appealing than a man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to ask for it. Now, my good fellow, let's tackle one of life's most uninvited guests, failure. It's as certain as taxes and just as unpleasant. But here's the rub. It's also the cornerstone of a man's character. A woman may admire your successes, but it's your ability to trip, tumble, and dust yourself off with a grin that truly enchants her. Think back to our ancestors, those hearty cavemen with their clubs and primitive ambition. Failure was part of their daily routine. Missed mammoths, burnt fires, and bungled hunts. Yet they persisted, because giving up was never an option when survival depended on grit. And though we no longer need to dodge saber-toothed tigers, that spirit still courses through our veins. Women are hardwired to admire a man who, like those cavemen of old, refuses to let failure define him. But how, you might ask, do you show this trait? Simple. Tell her your tales of woe. But tell them like a hero, recounting his battle scars, not a child lamenting a lost toy. Imagine you apply for a job, prepare your finest suit, charm the interviewers, and still they turn you down. You don't sulk or wallow in despair. No, sir. That very day, you fire off applications to other companies, each one sent with more resolve than the last. When you share this story with her, she won't see defeat. She'll see a man undaunted, a man who treats setbacks as stepping stones. Or consider this scenario. You've blundered in your relationship. Perhaps you said the wrong thing, or forgot an important date. A lesser man might retreat into silence or flee altogether. But not you. You face the music, apologize sincerely, and work to make amends. Why? Do you think the world coined the term makeup sex? It exists because women are irresistibly drawn to men who take responsibility, navigate the storm, and emerge stronger for it. Failure, you see, is not the absence of power. It's the forge in which power is tempered. A man who never fails is either not trying or not truthful. But a man who fails and then triumphs, that's a man worth admiring, worth loving. What you must never do, under any circumstances, is let failure keep you down. If you injure yourself at the gym, you don't abandon your workout routine for good. You recover and return stronger than ever. If you fail an exam, you don't throw in the towel and resign yourself to mediocrity. You hit the books and take it again. Complaining? Crying? No, my friend. Those are the tools of the defeated, and defeat is a state of mind you cannot afford. Failure isn't a blemish, it's a badge of honor. When you share your failures with a woman and she sees how you rise above them, she won't pity you. She'll trust you. Deep down, she'll think, if I'm with this man and life throws us a curveball, he'll catch it and throw it right back. And trust, my dear chap, is the foundation of love. So, the next time life hands you a failure, don't curse the heavens or bemoan your luck. Smile, take a step forward, and let your resilience do the talking. She'll notice, and she'll love you all the more for it. The final point, you must not be in a rush in your relationship. The art of patience, a virtue so rare, it's practically an endangered species among men these days. Yet, my friend, if you wish to charm a woman, you must master the fine art of not being in a blasted hurry. Women are drawn to men who move through life like a fine orchestra, deliberate and measured, not like a man late to catch the last train. Here's the first rule. Don't act like you're racing against time. If you meet her today, resist the urge to demand her company again tomorrow. And heavens forbid, don't call her an hour after exchanging numbers, panting like a bloodhound in pursuit. Women, you see, are like a delicate symphony. They require finesse, not brute force. Now, let's address the age-old question I see cropping up from every corner of the internet. How long should I talk to her to make her interested? Well, my dear chap, it's not the length of the conversation that matters. It's the quality. You could bore her to tears with 5 endless hours of monotony, or you could sweep her off her feet with 5 electrifying minutes of wit, charm, and intrigue. Which do you think will linger in her mind? The secret lies in emotion. Don't prattle on like a tax accountant discussing deductions. Engage her imagination, stir her curiosity. Let your words dance along the strings of her emotions like a master violinist. A woman doesn't remember the time spent. She remembers the way it made her feel. So slow down. Keep your cool and make every moment count. Trust me, patience isn't just a virtue, it's downright irresistible. My dear friends, we've wandered today through the wild and wonderful terrain of mindsets, behaviors, and the secrets to making a woman hopelessly, madly attached to you. We've uncovered the magic of ambition, the courage to ask for what you want, the resilience to rise after failure, and the mastery of patience. In short, we've unearthed the treasures of a man who knows his worth and lives it unapologetically. But here's the twist. These lessons aren't just about winning a woman's heart. They're about winning at life itself. Women, my friends, are drawn to the kind of man who conquers his own fears and insecurities, the man who strides boldly forward, not waiting for permission to live his best life. Now, if this video struck a chord, don't leave me here talking to myself like a lunatic hollering at the wind. Hit that like button. Yes, the one glaring at you right now. Subscribe to this channel if you fancy more adventures through the labyrinth of human connection. And by all means, drop a comment below. Share your thoughts, your stories, or even your complaints. I promise to read them all with a hearty chuckle and a raised glass. Until next time, remember, life is too short to be boring, too precious to be timid, and far too thrilling to live without a plan. Cheers!